Hi everyone, back with another video showing you my trading on the 25th of April 2018 and trading the London session. Seen some good strong moves from the US dollar overnight throughout the Asian session, and we're looking for further downside movement or further strength in the US dollar. I'll quickly run through the trades that I'm in. I've taken 3 trades at the moment. I'm in the Euro US dollar short, looking for further downside movement on that. Looks like that overnight move is continuing this morning in the London session. Pound US dollar, I'm also in this. We've seen this moving down nice, and that US dollar strength again pushing the pound down, and also in that one now. And the third trade that I'm holding is the New Zealand dollar US dollar. Again, same thing, US dollar strength pushing that down. I've missed a few I've seen plenty of entry criteria this morning, although I haven't quite caught it in time, and so there's a few trades that are running, a few moves that are running that have left me behind, but sticking with strict criteria. I can't break the rules and just jump on those, so I'll sit on the sidelines with those and just see if I can take some trades in a minute if they hit our criteria. But I'll pause this for the time being, and I'll come back and catch up if we see any further moves, or if there's anything else to say, if I'll take any more trades. I'll be back shortly. Okay, just running a quick update on these trades that I've got open. Still in the same 3 trades. Euro US dollar, I've locked in plus 16 pips on that, giving me a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. My stop on this is 8 pips, well, was 8 pips, so now I've got 16 pips locked in on the Euro US dollar. Euro Japanese yen, nothing there. Pound US dollar, I've locked in 20 pips on that, giving me a 2-to-1 risk to reward on this too. My stop on this was 10, and I've now got 20 pips locked in on the pound US dollar. Holding that, looking for further downside movement, seeing some weakness in the we saw some early strength in the US dollar that was pushing this down. Now we're seeing weakness in the pound and weakness in the euro. The US dollar strength seems to have eased just a little bit at the moment, but we'll see, that may pick up again in a minute. And the last trade that I've got on is, that's just taken. So I've just taken the Australian dollar, US dollar on an ordered place there, looking for further downside movement on that. And the only other trade that I've got is New Zealand dollar US dollar. I took that earlier on, 4 candles back, looking for further downside movement. I've got this on that US dollar strength. Okay, so I'll pause again for now, and I'll come back if there's any changes in these trades, or if I take any more trades. I'm out of all trades now, just doing this final update to bring you up to speed as to what happened and what I ended up with. So I'm going to run through all these pairs quickly. You can see the EU, I took this trade here early on in the session, watched it move down, and I ended up locking in 16 pips, which was here, and which gave me a 2-to-1 risk to reward. And price came down and then came back up and hit my price stop. So I've got 16 pips on the Euro US dollar. Euro Japanese yen, I had no trades on that, didn't hit any of the criteria, or the criteria when it was hit. I wasn't looking at that chart and I missed out on that, so the price pulled back anyway, so no trades for me on the Euro Japanese yen. Pound US dollar, I had 2 trades on this. First one I took here as price hit our criteria. Watch price came down, got to a point where I managed to lock in plus 20 pips, which, as you can see, 10 pips is my stop loss. So seeing 20 pips locked in on that, giving me a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Price came down, pushed back, and came back and hit my price stop. So I took 20 pips on that initial trade. Saw criteria hit again, and I re-entered this. Re-entered it just here, and watch that price come down. Then I ran out of time. I had some calls to make, so I had to punch out of the final trades that I had running. Giving me on that second trade plus 5 pips, came down to here. So I got 5 pips on the second trade, 20 pips on the first trade, 25 pips in all on the pound US dollar. Pound Japanese yen, no trades on that. Price just didn't really move on that at all. Australian dollar US dollar was my only loss for this London session. Took a trade here, and price reversed back and I ended up punching out of that, losing 3 pips, just 3 pips loss on the Australian dollar, US dollar. Australian dollar, Japanese yen, I had no trades on that. Price wasn't going anywhere, it was just hovering around. US dollar, Japanese yen, couple of entries that I missed out on this as well, where I was doing the trade plan with the Price Action Traders Institute members. But never mind, I didn't take any trades on that at all on the US dollar, Japanese yen. US dollar, Canadian dollar. I had one trade on this. Took it long as it hit my entry criteria here, and price moved up, pulled back a little bit. So the US dollar, Canadian dollar, when I ran out of time, I punched out of that for plus 4 pips. And Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, no entry on that. Price wasn't going anywhere on that, so I didn't take any trades. New Zealand dollar, US dollar was the last trade. You can see I took a trade here as price hit my criteria, entry criteria. And watch this come down again. I was out of time, so I punched out of this, taking 5 pips on this. So not a bad morning. Didn't take too long, and I ended up this morning with plus 47 pips, giving me plus 2% on my capital. Okay, so I'll finish off here. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you've got something from it. You can find out more from my website, www.uk2asia.com, or you can follow me on Twitter, which is at UK2Asia. See what we're doing at the Price Action Traders Institute. All the information that you'd need to know about the way we trade is on my website. But you can also follow us on Twitter and see exactly what we're doing and find out about membership if you're interested. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and please subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll get a heads up as and when I post these videos. Thanks very much.